Hello and welcome to Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. On today's show, we'll learn all about the summer offerings of downtown Somerville. We'll also meet a Bergen County woman who is living out her dreams on one of the nation's largest sports talk radio stations. But first, New York, New Jersey has been selected as the host city for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, which will be the largest tournament in its history. Joining us now to talk about what this means for our area is Vincent Prieto, President and CEO of the New Jersey Sports and Exposition Authority. Vinny, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I still remember, as a little kid, how exciting the 1994 World Cup was when it was played at Giant Stadium, and I'm sure things will be even more electric in 2026.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's unbelievable that it's way back 1994. But that event, which actually a large part of the population did not even know that the World Cup was being held here at that point in time, grew the sport so much because it's incredible the amount of fans that we have in this region. So it's really exciting that we were selected as one of the teams. And we really hope to hopefully land the finals here. So that's our ultimate goal.
Absolutely. Talk about the bid process and how you got so far.
Well, this process started about 4 years ago, and it's been a process working with FIFA and putting a lot of collaboration between both New Jersey and New York. It's a partnership. The NJSEA, where I am, and it's the complex where MetLife is literally the whole city. So it's been an interesting negotiation to be part of this exciting, the most large World Cup ever to come to here, to the United States, Canada, and Mexico.
Well, because it's New York, New Jersey, so I guess when you put the bid together, you have to take into account New York City, New York State, New Jersey. So it's a lot of moving parts, I can imagine.
100%. And it is a partnership with New York. And we've been, in lockstep with them. And it's been a great, exercise for us for these last 4 years. But it's not complete. We still, they haven't decided. FIFA will decide, where the games are going to be, who and what games will be played in different cities. So we're still in that process moving forward.
The demographics in the area have changed so much since 1994 when the World Cup was last year. Talk about soccer's growing popularity in New Jersey.
And just with the watch party we had for the announcement, you saw the excitement in the air. It's unbelievable. We have 4 teams in the area, and we have tens of thousands of youth that play the sport. It's so, at every that you ride down and you see in any park, you see kids, with a soccer ball playing. So it's amazing how that, and I believe 1994 was a catalyst for catapulting the popularity. But as you said, the diversity and the different countries that live in this area, it's unbelievable the fanfare that exists. So it has grown so much. Pretty much every school plays it. And it's funny, when I was young, it was something of a sport that you only saw it in certain areas. I live in Hudson County, which has Kearney and Harrison. These are places that soccer was being played, when I was a young child. And it's amazing the amount of people that is there, the communities that are there, that from all over the world make up this wonderful sport. And it's the largest sport in the world.
Football, American football, is obviously, I think, the most popular sport in this area. I think it might even eclipse baseball, in my opinion. Do you think soccer might eclipse all at one point?
Well, worldwide, it's the most viewed, and it has, the largest audience. So can it in the United States? It will. It's very difficult. There is, as part of us, we're very seasonal. So obviously, American football and baseball are something that is quintessential here.
Well, even if you're not a sports fan, when the news hit that New York, New Jersey won the bid, there was also mention of the different activations that are going to be happening in New York City, at Kean University, at the Red Bulls practice facility. Tell us about these fan fests.
Yeah, and that's one of the key things that it make this kind of unique. It's a month-long event, and there will be, as you say, Fan Fest. That obviously it's not only going to be in New York because people compare it to potentially how the Super Bowl. This is a collaboration between New York and New Jersey, and the fanfare is going to be in both states, as you mentioned, Red Bull Stadium and all these other practice facilities. They'll have events that people will come and congregate. What I've learned from some of the experts is that countries actually flock to near where they're going to be playing, and they actually congregate and have parties, and they just want to be close enough to be able to see the stadium, even though if they don't have tickets. So you'll have a certain country that if their team is playing here, they'll all flock to this area. So I think it's going to be, on top of it all, such a great event. It's going to be an economic boom for the region.
Let's talk about that. What opportunities will be created for the region?
Well, I think there's so much, obviously in the hospitality and coming out of COVID, that everything was hurting. This is going to actually help us tremendously, as worldwide we're going to get some free advertisement, is the way I look at it, that people will definitely want to come back and visit this region. Listen, we live near the city that never sleeps. We're in the Meadowlands, and you're very familiar. We actually have by our campus in the NJSEA, we have a lot of bird watchers. So I always say, where can you bird watch in the day and catch a Broadway play at night? This is it's a magical place to come to. So I think the opportunities are going to be, obviously hotels are going to prosper, restaurants, the local. We're going out there to different municipalities and always maybe partnering with them to be able to have events and for youth to be involved. And I think this is going to create a great atmosphere, and it's going to, as I said, create an economic boom for the whole region.
Talk about your experience with the New Jersey Sports Exposition Authority. You took over president as 2018. What has been your experience?
Well, it's been a great, it's been a wonderful experience. A little bit, I always feel that I missed a couple of years because everything sort of shut down. So that's been kind of difficult, but we've bounced back great. In the stadium, we have American Dream that's starting to thrive, and their parks, their water parks, their amusement parks, the ski slope, they're all doing fantastic. The retails now, they're coming and starting to flourish. So I think all these things are great. MetLife has an array of concerts coming this year that have been wonderful. We had Paul McCartney just recently. We have Elton John coming, Lady Gaga, and we actually had one of the greatest football games, meaning American football, was the Army-Navy game that was this past November. So it was a wonderful event. And for me, bringing back sports, we are actually collaborated with MetLife, and we're getting, I believe in 2024, we got Army Notre Dame. We actually have bid again for the Army Navy that is going to come in 2026. We also have bids out for rugby for both women and men's 2030 and 2031. So I think these are exciting things that are coming, and I love the idea that we're back in the sports business and trying to attract these key events.
What else does the authority oversee besides MetLife, American Dream?
Well, we have the whole complex. We actually also oversee, we have a realm because there was a merger back in 2015 that we merged the New Jersey Meadowlands with the NJSEA. So we also do zoning for 14 of the municipalities that we have in the NJSEA takes care of. And we have the practice facility of the Jets, where we're the landlord there. And we also have the Wildwood Convention Center in South Jersey. That's something that we also run.
I'll be down there next week. I'll be sure to check in on it for you.
Okay, thank you. It's always a great trip to Wildwood for down the shore.
Absolutely is. Well, where can people find out more about the World Cup and upcoming happenings?
Well, they can always check our website, which we'll make sure that we post on your show. We post the website at the njsea.com. and we're always updating it and saying what's coming and all the news. We hopefully will have some type of an idea, and it may be toward the end of the year, early next year, of potentially what games we'll get. And as I mentioned, hopefully we're in the running to get the finals, and we're really working hard to make that happen.
Well, we're all rooting for you. Vinny, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a wonderful summer and enjoy the shore.
We'll see you at the Giants games.
Thank you.
Downtown Somerville is known for community events, unique retail, colorful dining options, and arts and culture from around the world. Joining us now is its executive director, Natalie Pinero. Natalie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. We're so excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. And there's so much excitement happening in downtown Somerville this summer. Tell us about it.
So, first and foremost, we really think that downtown Somerville is just this really wonderful, unique mashup of historic meets modern. We really pride ourselves on our events, but we have a really thriving arts and culture scene. Just one trip downtown and you can experience live music, you can experience murals, colorful murals. And so there's really, a walk to experience and a dynamic that I think is just really unique to Somerville. So in addition, we have our Summer Stage concert series that kicked off Memorial Day weekend, our classic car shows where we have cruisers that line the streets of downtown Somerville, that line Main Street, that really give families something truly exciting to look at. And starting just this Thursday, we have our Starlit Cinema movie series, which happens every Thursday night. And so we're really excited about this season. So we've got events coming up every weekend from, Memorial Day all the way through Labor Day. So come down to downtown Somerville.
What are some of the new businesses that have come to downtown Somerville?
Oh, wow. We have experienced such a wonderful influx of businesses. So right on Main Street last year, we had a business that opened called Epic Cookies, and they were a huge success. Well, they have opened a secondary location called Even More Epic. And Even More Epic is a full service bakery. They do rolled ice cream. And so it's really a fun addition to their sister business, Epic Cookies. We have a new business down on East Main Street called Taco Walla that sells all vegan tacos. They are absolutely delicious. Their space is decorated so colorfully, and they really infuse traditional Mexican cooking, with vegan options that are so necessary in downtown Somerville. We have a new deli called Pop's Place that also opened on East Main Street. So for those of you who visit Somerville and just can't find a good bagel, that is now your new spot. We've got Third Child Wellness Boutique on Division Street that sells all natural skincare items, soaps. They also do a pop-up program with local artists that sell handmade goods. So you can always find something new in their space. And so there's always something new to experience here downtown.
I'm happy to hear that there's so many new businesses opening their doors, because we just came out of something where it was very hard for small businesses to stay afloat. Talk to us how you navigated downtown Somerville to come out on top of the COVID-19 pandemic.
So I have to say that downtown Somerville was extremely fortunate. And so while we did, lose a couple of businesses, the turnover was very quick because the interest in just being in Somerville was so it was very much there. So we were lucky in that respect, but we came together to create innovative programs for our business community. And on top of that, we're a designated special improvement district by the state of New Jersey. And so the special improvement district designation, coupled with our nonprofit status, really allowed us to do creative things like create our own grant programs for our business community that they did not have to pay back. We were able to really connect them with state resources that were allocated for districts that were just like ours. So I really think that being a special improvement district really helped us in that respect, because not all communities are. And we took advantage of other resources from state agencies like the Department of Community Affairs, the National Main Street Program, Downtown New Jersey. They really all came together to help us help our businesses thrive. And so I think that that constant communication paired with those grant programs, paired with initiatives like our Parklet program that allowed us to expand outdoor dining, as well as our unique kind of Somerville at Home website. For us, it was really about keeping downtown Somerville and our small businesses top of mind, right? So even when our businesses were closed to foot traffic, we were still finding ways to connect people with those businesses. So through Somerville at Home, where we would list, the different specials that they had going on during the week. We recorded special videos with our bars and restaurants on how to create seasonal cocktails. We created Valentine's Day gift boxes that people could pre-order through Somerville at Home that had items and meals from their favorite downtown Somerville businesses. So really finding that way to connect the brick and mortar experience with the online experience. And that's something that's really continued for us out of the pandemic as well. So we know that people are looking to for unique experiences that they can only get when they come out into our downtown district, but they also want the convenience of shopping from home and taking advantage of online retail, but still supporting those businesses that they love. So we continue to partner with businesses to do that as well.
It's so smart, right? Because there were a lot of lessons that we learned during the lockdown. So to keep some of these services implemented, I think only helps.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things that we recently did was we paired our local chocolate shop and one of our local wine stores, Discover Wine, and Carol's Creative Chocolates is the name of the chocolate shop. We paired them with a local nonprofit, Safe and Sound Somerset, and we helped them create a virtual wine and chocolate tasting. And so, many people would ask, we're coming out of the COVID pandemic, why are we still doing virtual events? The reality is that, we're still very much not out of the pandemic, and there are still people that are looking for those virtual experiences. And so we do have to meet our patrons halfway. If we want them to continue to visit our district, if we want them to continue to visit our businesses, we have to provide all of those things and hit them from all of those different angles, which I think we've been able to do really well over the past couple of years.
All brilliant ideas, and with you at the helm, they will all be a success. Where can people find out more about you in downtown Somerville?
So you can visit us online at downtownsomerville.com. You can follow us on Facebook at Downtown Somerville Alliance, and you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Downtown Somerville.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Natalie.
Thanks, Lisa.
Bergen County native Danielle McCartan is living her dream as a sports talk radio host on WFAN 660 AM and 101.9 FM. Joining us now to talk about her rise through the industry is Danielle. Welcome to the show.
You know what? Thanks so much for having me. The last time we talked was right before COVID happened. So it was right before the lockdown. I thought back to it. So I appreciate you having me back on, and even virtually now.
You were in the studio January of 2020. Yep. I remember it perfectly. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, happy to be here again, COVID-free.
Yeah, exactly.
So we originally, though, came together while we both worked for the New York Giants. Now look at you. I want to know how you got to where you are today.
Well, look at me. Look at you hosting your own TV show here. I guess just a lot of hard work, a lot of not taking no for an answer, a lot of research and being, good at what I've been doing based on my research and thoughts that I've had, unique thoughts. I don't try to copy anybody. I just try to be me. I actually try to stay away from sports talk radio just so I don't get any of the thoughts, infiltrated into my thought process. So, just a lot of hard work, a lot of, saying thank you to people and being good to people. And I guess it's been paying off, I guess.
What inspired you to go into sports talk radio?
How much time do we have? No, I'm just kidding. The short story is this. I was at Ramapo College in Mahwah, Bergen County, and I was set to student teach, and all I needed was like a credit number requirement. So what I did was I took a sports media course, and in that course, I gave a speech on CBS Sports, and my professor was like, "See me after class," and I was like, "Oh no, what did I do wrong? Like, did I do the wrong? Was it supposed to be Fox or something? I don't know." And long story short, and he said, "I think have you thought about this? Has anybody approached you with this, being involved in sports media?" And I was like, "No." And then from there, it just kind of went. I mean, I strong armed the student manager to allow me to have a Sunday morning show at Ramapo College as an alumni, and caught the ear of Mark Chernoff, who we've talked about before, who has been absolutely incredible. And he gave me my start on the Fan, and I had an hour of Tony Page's show. He's like, I remember the email from Mark Chernoff was like, "Are you free between 3 and 4 a.m. on August, whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think I can make arrangements for that." So, and then that's that. I'm still, still clawing my way to where I want to be, but hey.
Well, it's such a male-dominated field. I'm not breaking any news by saying that.
Yeah.
Did that get in the way of ascending through the ranks?
I mean, it hasn't yet, I don't think. But I there's no way for me to really kind of know that, I mean, people say, "Oh, I've gotten mean tweets. We should do a segment of those," where people say like, "Oh, you're only there because you're a girl," or "Go make me a sandwich." Well, that's actually not true. I actually know what I'm talking about a lot better than you, clearly, because you're sitting at home on Twitter with no avatar, and I'm here, talking about what I do know and sharing what I know and asking questions and doing all that, journalistic stuff. So I guess in short, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if we'll ever know the answer to that, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, when I get asked that question, I always say to people, I never think of it in that way. I think it's an asset to be so different from everybody else, right? So, and that's what you're working with too. I know that you've used your platform to do a lot of great things in the community. Tell us about it.
Oh man, I was just, what day is it? I don't even know. It's Thursday. I was just 2 days ago in Patterson. I got invited by the mayor of Patterson, non-political or anything. He's a huge baseball fan. And it was Larry Doby Day, the 75th anniversary of Larry Doby integrating into the American League. So I was at that. Dumont Little League has asked me to come and speak to the kids, and I delivered them a little special message from Aaron Judge, which they went nuts for. What else? I don't even know what else. Anything that comes up that's like, kids related, baseball clinics, softball clinics, anything to help the fire department, the police department, I'm all in. So I don't know. I'm trying to think what else I've done, but I rarely say no. So if it's a cause that I believe in and a group that I support, the Italian American Baseball Foundation, I rarely say no to those things. I love doing them.
While we're having you on today to talk about your sports talk radio career, that's like your part-time job. Your day job is actually teaching Italian in Franklin Lakes.
I just finished my 12th year of teaching, 12 years of doing it. It's fun. It's, I love the kids. I love teaching Italian to the kids at a much younger age than I was ever able to learn it. So I'm just, you know what though? It was like a limp to the finish line, honestly. And any teacher out there listening knows what I'm talking about. I'm just happy to get a little bit of a break and no alarm in the morning. That's the best part. So I teach grades 6, 7, and 8. So I was at the high school for like 10 years, Ramapo High School. And then December of 2019, I was transferred to the middle school, Franklin Ave Middle School in Franklin Lakes. How
do you balance teaching, giving back to the community, and your weekly sports talk show?
It's a lot, it's a lot. And I was saying this the other day, you really kind of have to surround yourself with a really good support system. I mean, my family's been wonderful. If I said, "Hey mom, I'm going to the Yankees, cover the Yankee game tonight. You think you could watch the dog for the night?" She always says yes, things like that. Like, that's a big thing. If she were to say no, well, then I can't go to Yankee Stadium, And you know, my extended family also, I've left weddings to go do my show. I haven't been able to go to bridal showers or baby showers because I have to do my show because they're typically on weekends. So it's been a lot of sacrifice, you know, but it's all for the greater good. And one day I will be able to go back to those things and not have to leave my cousin's wedding early or whatever. So everybody understands. It's just how it's got to be for now. That's it.
Listen, having that support system, especially that of family and close friends, it really makes all the difference in the world.
Yes, definitely.
Where can people listen to the show and find out more about you?
So typically I'm hanging out on the weekends on the Fan. They can kind of find me there on WFAN.com.
Amazing. Danielle from Dumont, right? That's where you really got your start, calling into the Fan. Danielle from Dumont. Thank you so, so much.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.